All right, we're waking up to downed trees. Several people in our area without power this morning from those strong winds overnight.
Yeah, Fox 13's Jennifer Dowling is live in the Lake Stevens area with a look at the damage and current conditions.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage here from the wind and rain overnight. We just talked to a neighbor who was walking, getting his steps in, and he said the wind was just howling at about midnight last night. It brought these trees down. There's some lines down here, too. You can see this truck having to stop and turn around. You don't want to drive through that because those lines are down. We don't know if they're charged or if they're utility lines or power lines or what is happening out here, but a lot of people having to do alternate routes to get around these trees. And this has been the story across Lake Stevens all morning. Let's take a look at some video. Earlier in the morning when it was still dark, we had a tree down on 42nd Street, and that was in an area where it was pitch black and it was hard to see those lines down, so that was kind of a dangerous situation. And as the dawn started to break, we headed over to Lundeen Parkway. I don't know if we have some of that video we can show you, but over there on Lundeen Parkway, there was a tree down crossing the road, and the crews had already cut through that and cleared that out of the way. It looked like a cedar tree had come down, and some deciduous trees have come down as well, and folks had to get those out of the way for traffic to start flowing again this morning. So a lot of tree damage. And on North Davies, another tree down. A neighbor's telling me this is probably the worst one in this area here, this small area, so causing some road blockages. And they asked me, hey, do you have a chainsaw in the news car? And I said, no, we have almost everything else in there, but not a chainsaw. So if you're heading out, just be aware you might have to take some detours if there's going to be some trees or branches down or lines down in your neck of the woods, because there was a lot of damage overnight from that fall storm. Back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks, Jennifer. Meanwhile, the town of Carnation dealing with moderate levels of flooding right now. The Tolt River crested around 5 o'clock last night. The town sits between the Tolt and the Snoqualmie rivers. Flooding isn't new to residents in Carnation, but always a concern.
A little concerned because I'll get trapped at home and not be able to go anywhere. Then you have to drive a long ways around and the traffic really backs up.
The National Weather Service says river levels are expected to peak at 11 o'clock this morning.
And we are tracking power outages this morning for you right now. Snohomish PUD is reporting close to 140,000 customers without power. PSC is working on restoring power to just under 80,000 customers. Seattle City Light reporting just over 2,000 people without power. So, of course, we'll keep tracking these outages throughout the morning for you.